This is the Hardcore Heartbreaker Sweet Daddy, a.k.a. Greg Troxell, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside. A beautiful Tuesday evening. Greetings, good evening. How the hell are you? Welcome to Beyond Ringside Live on this 7th day of March. Yes, back on Tuesday. I can't say it's going to be a tradition now because things are about to change. No relation to the phrase Taz used to use when he was cutting his promos. From the undisclosed location, yours truly, the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne. Behind the control panel this evening, welcoming in tag team partner, the Hardcore Heartbreaker, Sweet Daddy himself, Greg Troxell. How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm doing good. It's Mania season, baby. I mean, how are you not excited? I mean, even if it's, no matter what you think, Mania season is always fun. It is what it is.
And there will be a special guest ring announcer at WrestleMania, but by the same token, I will not be in Birmingham that weekend. I'm just kidding. Because with all the surprises of who's going to be on the phone and in the box and all the other stuff, I figured I could pull this off, and I just decided, you know something? I'm just going to let it go. That's the easy way to say it. You're right. Mania season kicking into play. First off, before I go anywhere, thank you to everybody tuning in this evening through BeyondRingside.com, ProWrestlingRadio.net, TuneIn Mobile, Streama, Radio.net, all the different methodologies. If you saw the QR code on the promo graphic earlier today, that actually takes you to one of our primary streams that you don't have to. It's the same one that feeds .com and .net, ProWrestlingRadio.net. There's less of a latency issue, so you're hearing more of what we're saying as we're saying it instead of being like a 20-second delay on TuneIn. I love TuneIn, I really do, but sometimes I try to figure out exactly where we are on something over there, and it's like, no, I'm not going to be able to splice. It takes a minute to try to get the timing down. Mania season in full bloom. Finally, we're less than 2 weeks away. Holy hell. And the surprises just keep on coming, right, Greg?
Yep.
And
they do.
And they're not all really surprises.
I mean, they're surprises, but not always in a good way.
Thank you.
But I understand them, so I can play both sides of this, but I'm not going to play the corporate side. I got to play the fan side, and I'm just going to jump right in. You cool with me jumping right in?
Fire away.
What the hell is Pat McAfee the one on the phone? It's just so many options. And I'm like, Cody hit it on the head. It was like Disco Inferno being Hogan and the third man. Like, what? It just doesn't make sense. It makes sense from a business standpoint. Oh, let's go get the ESPN people. Oh, whatever. We have to have continuity. And it's like, well, we could have made anybody on that phone.
Yep.
Like, legitimately, almost anybody. It could have been Matt Riddle. It could have been freaking Kevin Owens. It could have been Ted DiBiase Jr. It could have been Randy's dad.
I was thinking it was Dwayne this whole time.
It could have been them. I was like, McAfee? Like, why? It just, nothing about it makes sense to me. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
When you've got a scenario in play where you can break out a true master reveal, a checkmate level or check level reveal, this to me is like, I'm going to break my diet by eating Smarty crackers. That makes no sense. If you're going to break your diet, you go straight for Baskin Robbins and pick 31 flavors.
100%.
I mean, I understand the ESPN connection.
Mm-hmm.
Because with McAfee in play, you have someone that ESPN audience is going to grab. Now, on the other side of the coin, screw the coin, it's a Rubik's Cube. There was a very high number of people that were like, when are you coming back to do commentary? When are you coming back behind the microphone? When are you coming back to SmackDown? When are you gonna come back and join Michael Cole? And when he said he felt that the business had passed him by, or he had gotten that memo, that has to be the biggest load of horse manure that I have heard in forever and a day. McAfee, for the most part, was extraordinarily popular doing commentary along with Cole. The chemistry that they had, was off the chart. I mean, there were people who actually compared it to Jesse and Gorilla, or Bobby and Gorilla and Jesse and Vince. You have someone who does have a great personality, and when McAfee is being McAfee, it shows through in the originality, the grassroots, and the street level sarcasm that he can lay out there. But for him to be the big reveal in this was, I just turned 16. Dad's going to buy me a new car. He's going to buy me a Lexus. He's going to buy me a Mercedes. He bought me a 73 Pinto. 74, I know. 73 was not an option. 74 was the one that exploded. Rear in the Pinto. Boom! Continue. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to...
You're good. I don't know. I just didn't get it. And then the whole Cody promo, I thought the Cody promo afterwards was good. I thought the passion was there, and I thought there was an edge to it. But where do you go? Because even the fact he said that's equal to Disco being the third man is kind of throwing you a little bit of inside baseball stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's where do you go? And I don't know. And you know what? This could all be a plan. Because if you truly think about it, I'm going to put my little tinfoil hat on and my conspiracy theory.
Okay.
This is the third year in a row that TKO, Ari, or whoever has inserted themselves into this main event picture. Think about it. They tried to shoehorn Rock in, and the fans rejected it.
Yep.
Last year, they shoehorned Rock in. They turned Cena heel, and then they tried to get Travis Scott in, and it became one of the worst main events of all time.
Yes.
And to no fault of Cena and Cody, in my opinion. Just all the overbooking and the 14 minutes it took Travis Scott to get down there, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, all that. Just horrible. And then by them shoehorning them in, it screwed up the next few months of creative.
Yep.
And now you're doing it again. And I'm like, is it truly Ari doing this? Or is it, you know what, let's play on that. I don't know. I hope we're all being worked. Please let us all be worked. And I would love it. I would love to be at the end of Mania and be like, wow, they got us. And watch Unreal in 6 months and be like, holy crap, they worked us to a new level. I would be celebrating this like nobody. Because the other thing, there are people talking. Good or bad, there are people talking.
Spell my name right. That's all I care about.
Whew, man. Ugh.
Now, I'm willing to bank a small wager that the ESPN brass might have had a little bit to do with this. Considering all the words flying around about how ESPN is not overly overjoyed with the way things have been going with the partnership with WWE at this point, and they figure, okay, fine, we can get McAfee involved. He's a good bridge between the two companies, and it's going to help bring more eyes to the product. At this phase of the game, McAfee, with all due respect, is not going to bring that many more eyeballs than if he were already there. If McAfee had been there the entire time, the number of eyeballs would continue to be at a certain level. For him making the surprise return as the person on the phone, you're not going to surpass the level. It's not going to go that much higher. Especially not with the promo that was cut. One, with McAfee leading with the Sports Town reference. That is the consummate low-hanging fruit, lazy heel start to a promo. It's like, we're going to go to New York. I'm going to tell everybody the Mets suck. Oh, please. Let's remind everybody who doesn't have any type of communication with the free world that the Mets suck. Or the Knicks. Or the Islanders. I don't know. I don't know if the Islanders suck or not. I have not watched NHL lately. That's me. Or the Jets. Oh, really? How many people don't know the Jets suck? People around the world that don't have internet access or television of any kind know that the Jets suck. So, really, we're just going to go for that low-hanging fruit. It's like if McAfee comes to Birmingham tomorrow, yeah, Stallions just couldn't keep that 0 out of the loss column. Only the 72 Dolphins managed to keep that 0 out of the loss column for the entire season, similar to the regular season of the Patriots from a few years back. So, really, you can't irk me with that. Or Alabama didn't win a national title this year. Whoop-de-damn to do. Guess what? We made the playoffs. I wasn't in favor of it, but hey, look, that's marketing works wonders. Money's involved. Get off me. But you go for that right off the bat. Now, another part of that promo that actually made me chuckle, because it sounds like certain people that I know in the state of Alabama in this industry. You got 2 5-foot guys weighing 155 pounds going at each other when Randy Orton's around. Yes, I almost sound like Foxworthy. I should have gone full scale on that voice. You have more. That is actually a subtle elevation to the era. Well, everybody said WWE under Vince McMahon was the land of the giants. Remember those days? So, lo and behold, everybody, including Vince, found out there's more than one body type that works well inside of a professional wrestling ring. But for him to break out that in particular is like, I know who he's been talking to. And then he broke out the part about how they're going to save the business. Where did that come from? Punk covered it perfectly on Monday Night Raw, but I'm going to hold before I get to that one. But the McAfee promo, and even the part back in the garage when they're getting in the truck to leave, will probably go down as one of the most useless heel promos that anybody has ever laid out there. Greg, agree, disagree, or neutral?
I agree. When I'm looking at this whole thing with Randy Orton, it still doesn't make sense to me. None of it does. And I'm like, the whole thing is just a miss to me. And as much as I like, and actually I've come to appreciate Randy in the last few years. I was never a big fan of his before.
Right.
But I would say the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, I've become much more of a fan of his. And I'm a huge Cody fan. And I'm like, but the whole Randy thing I just feel like it's a miss. Even him turning on Cody, it just makes no sense to me. I think we could have teased it longer. I think there's other things that could have happened. If you're going to do it, go for it. Or if you're going to do it, what the heck does Pat McAfee have to do with it? There's plenty of story between these two that they could have just talked about real stuff.
Yep.
And Randy could have been like, Cody, you didn't look at me as your idol. You looked at John Cena, because Cody has said it multiple times. And then Cody could say, but I rode with you. And I mean, they could have had this whole thing. And Randy could have turned on him whenever if he wanted to. Or he could be in the match. It doesn't matter. But I'm like, I just don't get it. It's a miss to me. And I don't know. This one, I mean, I think the match will be good. Don't get it twisted. I think they're both 2 of the best in the world. They truly are. And I think they'll tell a good story. But now I just, with McAfee. And now let me ask you a question. Do you add somebody to Cody's corner? Because according to WWE.com, Pat McAfee is in Randy's corner.
Yeah.
So do you add somebody to Cody's corner? And if so, who? Not Brandy. It's got to be somebody else, but who? And please, Lord, don't let it be Ted DiBiase Jr.
I was going to say Stephen A. Smith.
Hell, that'd be better than anybody else. I mean, who else you going to put in there? I don't know.
No, the reason I like Stephen A. Smith, the man can cut a damn good promo.
That's true.
His mastery of the English vernacular is on par with legends. I enjoy. See, Stephen A. Smith to me originally made First Take as he grew into the role. I mean, I always felt that his star outshone people like Skip Bayless and some of the other people they've had come down the pike. I would love to co-star on that show with him, and I would love to have full-scale debates with him because I think they would be absolutely a blast to have. Wouldn't it scare the hell out of everybody if Vince were in Cody's corner at Mania?
That was part of the rumor on the phone. It could have been Vince on the phone until these new allegations, or not, I'd say allegations. The new, you can't get any more allegations. But the new information that recently came out, there's nothing new as far as allegations. But with that coming out, but I don't see that happening. But okay,
I'm gonna pop over to later on Friday night and see if I have Cut 2 queued up in the right place. Bear with me for one hot second. We're going to Cody Rhodes from SmackDown.
Okay.
That's right. I forgot to change over one little thing. Bear with me. And now it's not wanting to play right. Son of a blue cheese eating billy goat. So I will. Why do you want me to save something that I don't have to save? We're doing this live, kids. That's all I can say. Well, we'll come back to that. But, Greg, your thoughts as Cody came back out a little bit later in the night?
I thought it was weird, but I thought the promo was awesome. I think one thing about Cody, and I am a huge Cody mark, and I will sit here and admit it, and I have been there since he returned. I was that way in AEW. And I thought, I actually liked Stardust back in the day. So I've been a Cody mark for a long time. He came out, and we know he got booed earlier in the night, right? And that's okay. It is. They're in Randy Orton's hometown and all that. During that promo, he won that crowd over.
Yeah.
During that promo, because he was real, and there was passion, and he stood there, and he made a statement that he said, the ticket, basically, I'm the one in these matches. You said you had to add Rock. You said you had to add, Travis Scott. You had to, whatever, all these other things. I was in there selling these tickets. And there's a chip on his shoulder that says, look, I'm the dude. And I loved his promo.
Hang tight. Here we go.
We got all dressed up in St. Louis tonight to find out who Randy Orton was talking to on the phone. And color me surprised, it was Pat McAfee. That's like if Scott Hall and Kevin Nash talked about the third man in the NWO, and instead of Hulk Hogan, it was Disco Inferno.
I am surprised that so many people actually caught that reference and ran with it. And that Disco fired back on Cody on social media. But if you're Disco, what can you do? Legitimately, the first thing I would have done was, dude, thank you for the reference. I'd have been okay with that. And then I would have launched into retaliation.
That's what Randy Orton wants for his legacy. For 15, St. Louis's own Randy Orton. My mentor, my hero. When John Cena was the angel on my shoulder, he was the devil. This was simple. You keep saying it's not personal. And even Stephanie McMahon comes out here, someone I love and respect, and tells me I need to go there. I need to go to a dark place. I've got to become a bad guy. And I hear it. dark hair, the whole thing. The truth is better than my excuse usually is. I don't know if I know how to do it anymore.
That part right there made me sit back and wonder for a hot second. Because when you when you are cast in the role of a babyface, as in a vanilla ice cream babyface, Cody was never really a true heel's heel, in my opinion. Throughout all of the incarnations that he had in the first run in the Fed, in everything else, in Ring of Honor, New Japan, all the other stuff that he did, and AEW, he was never really the heel's heel. It was always a matter of circumstance and location. You see where I'm going on that one?
What do you mean by he wasn't the heel? What do you mean?
Legitimately, he wasn't. I never had Cody pegged in any incarnation of any character that he had as a true heel. It was, like I said, it seemed like it was all orchestrated more than organic. It seemed like it was, he wasn't an Ole Anderson type heel. Does that clarify?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But here's the one thing I'll say about Cody. If you go through, and I'm going to compare him to somebody else.
Okay.
Even down to how he wrestles. But he is the modern day Hogan. Mm-hmm. If you go through Hogan's glory years, 80s, early 90s, but 80s, right?
Right.
And you come through Cody's years, they're both heels the whole freaking time. Both of them. They just appeal to the right people.
Right.
They punch. They kick. Cody dresses as a heel. And the whole AEW run, he came out with a beautiful woman, which is heelish. Everything's a heel. Everything he's done is a heel. Down to the fact of what he says, what he said about Roman, what he said about Rock, what he said about all these different people. It's all heelish. Which is cool. He's never been, even though he's painted as the white meat babyface, he's not Ricky Steamboat. He's not Ricky Morton. He's not that type of heel. Babyface.
Right.
He never has been. And that's what I think also appeals about him. But that's also why I think he talks about going to a dark place or whatever. It's like, go there, but the only thing that Cody's going to do different if he ever turns heel is talk bad about the crowd. Because, hell, everything else is heelish.
Agreed.
Everything. And I love it. But it's been that way. That's why I say he's the modern day Hogan. He's not. Some people said he's a modern day John Cena. No, John Cena wasn't heelish, in my opinion, for the most part. Cody is. Hogan was. Hogan was 100% heel.
Hogan's in-ring style. You never saw before him. You never saw a babyface do a back rake.
100%. How many times did he cheat? How did Macho Man win the title? They cheated. How did they cheat? Because Hogan came in there and smacked DiBiase with a chair. Yeah, it is what it is. The whole Mega Powers thing. How did they beat Zeus? They cheated. And they went to a whole different place. They went to OF before there was OF. And I'm like, come on. Here, okay, what did we do? We pulled off a dress. I'm like, that's ECW type crap. Granted, it wasn't quite as revealing as ECW, but look, we were in 88. But I'm like, look at what they did. That's straight heelish moves. And I'm like, that's the same thing Cody is. So Cody is a heel. To me, it's heel versus heel. But we know that we overall, for the most part, Cody is the one we all look up
to a great degree. Folks, do me a favor. Greg and I are going to take a quick one to head for that first break. For everybody catching this one on YouTube, please remember, BeyondRingside.com, ProWrestlingRadio.net, full version of this episode will be available everywhere you get your shows. Hang tight. Beyond Ringside continues in just a moment.
I am Mr. 1985, Bubba Cagle, and I'm locked in to Beyond Ringside.